Nikki. I am Nikki, and this is my musing of the day. It is a Winter Birds book, and I am not very creative. I'm calling that because it's based on a kit called Winter Birds and Greens by Kelly's Creations, an Etsy shop that I love, and I've used several of her kits and digitals. So I recommend you check her out. I will post her link below and the name of the kit. And it's a great kit. It has, I loved the theme of like the birds and kind of this wintry feel to it. It does have a little bit of like holly and ivy in there, but it's not Christmas. Like holly and ivy, I feel like, you know, those plants don't have to only be Christmas plants. They can be winter plants. They're just, you know. So I've tried to, I steer away from Christmas specifically and just make this kind of a warm, pretty wintry nature, you know, feel. Anyway, I will stop yammering about that. I just told you how it has 138 pages and then covered in this great fabric. And I did something new. So I did the book, covered it in this great fabric. And, you know, it's this wonderful, I don't even know what it is. It's green cotton. I wish I had a whole bunch of it to like make myself another apron or something. But anyway, I covered it and then I was like, it needs something because it was just too plain and it needed something on the spine and I didn't want to make a tassel. And I was like, I just need something different. I wanted to do something different. So I was looking at the spine and it's a flat spine. It has 3 signatures. So there are 3, you know, strings coming out, binding strings that you can see back here. And I decided that if I started weaving things through it, it would be like a bird's nest, how they kind of weave things in and out of, you know, their nests. And so then I decided to make kind of a crafty take on it. Like if a bird were to come into my studio, these are the things that it would find to weave into its nest, like little pieces of lace and the vine charm and a few little buttons and some, you know, coffee stained muslin and some silk and some eyelash trims. So yeah, twine bits. I just pulled out my little scraps and started, you know, gluing. And at first, okay, I'm going to tell you my little story here. Mini story time. At first, this looked so ugly. So this is like one of those stories with a little moral to the story. Last night at Bible study, there's this woman, Crystal, in our Bible study, and she apparently used to be an art teacher, and I had no idea. So she was talking about, somehow it came up, and it was so applicable today. What she said yesterday became so applicable to me today as I did this. So she said that all art goes through an ugly phase. So if you are a crafter with me right now, you know that there are a lot of times when we're working on a journal or something and it goes through this ugly phase and you're like, oh, I just don't know if I really like what this is doing or where I'm going with this. And a lot of times that's the point at which you have to talk yourself into not quitting. You have to keep going with it and roll with it. And sometimes it doesn't turn out great, but most of the time, if you keep going and sometimes you have to tweak and, you know, make a few changes, you end up with something that you really like. So she said, and this is like the greatest quote, she was first she was telling us about a painting that she was making of her mom one time. And she said at first it was awful. She was bald, you know, like her skin was patchy and stuff. And she said, but the more I worked on it, it got less ugly and it actually turned out really well. And she really liked how it was. And so she said, this is the greatest quote. She was talking about her students and she said, most of my students don't have the intestinal fortitude to carry it through the ugly phase to the end product they just quit. Intestinal fortitude. I had never heard that. If you guys have, more power to you, but now you've heard it. It was so, I loved that quote. I instantly memorized it and I was like, I'm going to share it with you guys at some point. Well, it becomes so applicable. This morning, I had to gather up my intestinal fortitude when this mess looked stupid and just keep going and keep layering and adding. And, you know, that's a lot of times with collage too. So I kept layering and adding, and now I came up with this spine that just is full of yumminess and layers and depth. And it's such a cool little piece on the spine here, especially of a bird's book, because it's like, you know, the bird nest on the spine of the book. And it just becomes part of the coolness and uniqueness of the book. So gather your intestinal fortitude, guys. Next time you're doing collage or something and you're totally, you know, thinking that it's dumb and you don't want to do it anymore. So it just ties with some big twine here. And you could certainly cut this down if you wanted to, or it's just through eyelets, so you could cut it off and replace it with sari silk. I just liked the thought of twine. It kind of tied in this and that kind of rusticy, wintry feel. So let's take a look inside. I kept the front pretty plain. I don't know, I just liked that feel. And then these are some of the beautiful pages of the digitals, Winter Birds and Greens. I've added in some of my lace dyed papers, and then I found this super cool ribbon, and I don't know if I will be able to show this on camera, but it's one of those things it's like red in one direction and some lights and shades, and then it's kind of green in the other. So let me see if I can see if it's gonna, well, see, you can kind of see there how it goes to green. Oh, there, that direction, it totally goes to green. Is that gonna pick up on the camera? No, well, kind of. In person, this is like super cool green. Yeah, I'll stop trying. But trust me, in person, this is cool ribbon. And so it gives it this really cool depth. So it looks kind of rusty red. It's not bright red by any means, and that's picking up well on the camera. It looks almost a little orangey in my viewfinder, but it's red, and it fades to this kind of really pretty green color. I've done a little stamping throughout, and then I've used, oh, these might also be Kelly's creations. I'll put a link to the flashcards below. I'll look it up and I'll put a link. Then I've used some of my daughter Joy's polka dot music paper. Oh, Joy's polka dot dying again. So you guys will have to check out my shop. She's got some packs of colored paper, like yellow, pink, red, or yellow, pink, green, blue, lavender polka dot papers that I think she's got a few packs ready. Some sari silk. These are some graphics buttons from, or some from Graphics Fairy, like circles. Another one of those flashcards. One of the tags from the kit. Oh, and then these are some note cards from Graphics Fairy as well. And pockets that come with the kit. And then in each signature, there is a little windy guy opener. And it's just a space to journal. So nothing, oops, pulled that right off of there. And if you follow me on any social, if you follow me on Instagram, you will see that I had a craft catastrophe the other night when I went to grab some Edith Holden for this book that I was working on, and because these are made out of Edith Holden pages, and realized it was my last page. I scoured my shop. Nope, it's literally the last page of Edith Holden. So now I have to find a way to procure some more. We live nowhere near thrift shops. So I love these lined papers with the birds at the bottom. I think this is a great kit. And so here I'm talking about like some of that holly and ivy, but it's not Christmassy, right? It's, you know, she's got a few poinsettias in there, is probably the only thing that really like lends itself to Christmas, but I think this transcends Christmas and it could definitely go beyond that. This is just a little note card that I have coffee stained and put some paper leaves and stuff at the top. And then there are a few of Tracy Fox's fussy cut birds because that fits so well with this theme. And that's clipped on. Ooh, I recently scored a box of vintage jumbo paper clips. They've got a cool patina to them. But they're like super heavy duty, way more heavy duty than regular paper clips that you would get today. It's a little tuck spot here. And so I'm always fearful that I'm going to rip my paper because they're like strong. In the center of each signature, I've just put some little beads on the ends of the ties, signature ties down here. I love this page. It's just, you know, pretty and wintry. Some more stamping, and then I've sewn on some of these handmade paper leaves here. And then there's this cute, this is just one of the journal cards, and this cute little bird. I had one more bird paper clip, so I thought we'll just throw it in here. Why not? Then I have recently got a very old dictionary from like the turn of the last century. You get some postcards in the kit. And then these are from a different kit. Those are from a different digital that I just had in my stash. So I've been using some of those old encyclopedia pages. O for Owl, my favorite. Another graphics fairy. These might be Calico Collage, now that I'm looking at them. Love that tree. So yeah, this book, it just gives me that warm, naturey vibe. It's like winter birds, wintry, but it also is naturey and kind of warmer rather than like a cold winter feel, a cozy winter feel. You get this nice big guest check and a couple other guest checks in the kit. And then this is a vintage envelope that I recently got. And there is another one of the postcards from the kit in there. Then I did a couple of these. Oh, see, they're so strong. This is not going anywhere, guys. So this is a little like notebook that you get. It says notes on one side, and you could turn it into a pocket or whatever, but I've turned it into literally a little notebook here with some pages and then some ephemera pieces tucked in over on that side. And this is from Tracy Fox's, one of her newest labels. It says notebook on there. They're fun labels. So that just goes over that page with a super strong vintage paper clip. And more pretty birds, more fussy cut birds. Sorry silk and some stitching. Some more cards, journaling cards. And I didn't overfill the pockets because I didn't want to overfill things. There's places for you to stick things and memories, or even if you don't, even if you're somebody who doesn't use, like put tons of pictures or anything in, you can also, if you want additional journaling space, you can just write on paper or stationery and stuff and just tuck them into those spots, fold them up and tuck them in. It's another way to use those. Here's another postcard in a vintage envelope. Some more of those leaves. I just kind of sew them on. Another tree paper. This is another loaded envelope with more journaling card and another tag with a fussy cut bird. The center of that signature. Here's another one of those windy guys. Oh, and I didn't mention it before, but you probably figured it out that these are also pockets. And it's not stuck through this part. I just made a pocket behind it. More stamps and a bird. Some of that vintage encyclopedia. Here's a little tuck spot. You get these, you get 3 of these in the kit that have tabs, you know, left, right, and center. And then here's another guest check from the kit. These are from Graphics Fairy. Some birds note cards. N is for Nest. N is also for Nikki. There's a little bird. These are from the kit too. It's a great kit. I recommend checking it out. It's pretty. Some more Sari Silk. Another one of those little notes folders. I won't pull it off because it's exactly the same inside as the other one. And then this is the center of the signature. And then on this postcard, on this giant paper clip, you get this file folder in the kit, but I sewed up the edges of it and to create a pocket and used some of my last Edith Holden to make a note card to go in there with this pretty cardinal from the kit. So it's got a little tab on it and it's just attached like so. Another postcard. I love this polka dot stained music paper. It's so cute. Here's another windy guy and another garden card. Some more lace stained paper. I'm so excited to set up some tables out in my big heated shop now because in my next video, I'll share some stuff with you, but I just hit a stash of cool doilies to use. Here's another tuck spot here and some more of those leaves. I love these leaves. I get those on Amazon. Every time I've used them in a journal, people ask. Get them on Amazon. I should do that Amazon affiliate link thing. So I can link them and you guys can click it and apparently I make revenue off it. I don't know. It's probably like 5 cents US. It would probably take forever to even earn $1. I don't know. I should talk to some of you that do it though and see. Finch. And another one of these. These are, I just sewed them onto some green cardstock. And that's a big pocket back there for you to tuck stuff. D is for Dragonfly. There's another one of those pretty tree pages. Oh, there goes a big rambling lumber truck. And then here's the other part of that last Edith Holden page. It was like a fold out page, so I had, 2 pages or 4 sides. So I turned it into a flip out here because it had birds on it. I mean, how perfect, right? That was the last one, Kismet. So there's one of the big guest checks in here, and then there is also a big polka dot stained journaling card that I made in there. And we're at the end. So definitely plenty of places to write. There's my little Musings by Nikki Maker mark. And all the yumminess on the side. I love yumminess on the side of a book. So, we'll tie her back up. And we'll say thank you for stopping by today to hang out with me, to check out this book. If you have any questions, let me know. It should be for sale in my Etsy shop when the video goes live. If it's not there, then that just means that it's sold. and thank you for that. And I'll be back. I've got some fantastic Happy Mail to share with you, and an Etsy shop, a few recommendations and stuff, just some random stuff that I want to share in my next video. So we'll come back and do that in a day or two. And until then, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, whatever time it is, on whatever side of our fantastic globe that you live on. And until I see you guys all again next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay well, stay peaceful, and God bless. Bye, guys.